Hello and welcome to CIPD Bitesize. In this video, we're going to be looking at AC2.1 from the 5001 Organizational Performance and Culture in Practice. This is a scenario-based question. You work for Chaffinch Group, who recently purchased Calmere House, which is a care home. There is a scenario connected to it, so let's kick into the scenario. I'm going to request that you pause and read the scenario if you're not fully up to speed with it, because there is 2 pages of scenario here. This is page 1, so if you want to pause now, we'll move on to page 2. You can pause now. Now, the question that you have been set is, using theories and models which examine organizational human behavior, explain why problems have arisen. Explain why problems have arisen following the takeover of Calmere House by Chaffinch Group. Now, if you've read the scenario, you're probably already aware and have ideas about some of the problems and how they've been caused when Kat came in and there was a change from Kristen in terms of management style and organizational structural style, as well as how they've interacted with patients and how they bring people, how they bring on agency staff. So there's a whole range of things probably in your head. But think about how the question structure set out, using theories and models which examine human behavior. So theories, GTS, plural, multiple, and models, plural. Now examine how organization and human behavior explain why problems have arisen following the takeover of Calmere House. So theory 1, theory 2, how would you lay the work out? Well, you have 380 words for this. So you've got 2 main action points. You've got theory and model 1, you've got theory and model 2. That is 200 words-ish per question. Evidence, why have they arisen? What stages are they in? So if you think about something like a change curve as a really, really good example, or a Kubler-Ross curve, you've got it, and I'm not going to describe it because obviously that's giving the answer, but if you think how people come in like this, then they go like this, and then it slowly comes up like this, and that's how the Kubler-Ross model works. You might want to research that, you might want to look into that particular model about how it impacts people and staff and feelings, and you've got turnover rates, and you've got change that breeds change, and you've got all these different really interesting theories that I would recommend that you read. So you're explaining why problems have arisen, but you're using a template of a model and the theory for this particular one. So the question is, AC 2.1, the verb is explain, but you do have a core pretext to use. Is the scenario required? Yes, you need to reference Chaffinch Group and Calmere House. The word count is 380 words, so that's approximately 200 words per action point. Action point 1 is theory and model 1. Action point 2 is theory and model 2, because they have said using theories with a plural and models with a plural. So theory and models means more than one. Explain why they're having problems. References is to the models and the theories. Reference citation for 1, reference and citations 2. Here is an example of our answer plan filled out for you with a completely different question, not this particular question, so that you can have an idea as to how to put it. By all means, pause it, write in a pad. You don't have to follow this exact methodology, but the reason we do this is how we think about questions when we're doing these videos for you. So just think about, well, what's the key verb? Because that's one of the areas people get wrong a lot. What's the word count? What question are we under? Is the scenario needed to be referenced in this particular question? Is yes. And the reason we do this is when you write out your answer, you can check against this. You can check against. So have I referenced Calmere House and Chaffinch Group? Have I matched the word count? Have I hit the verb? Have I covered all the action points that I've identified? Have I included the references that I found? It's a great way to to help you understand the question. We tend to give you a bit of a fictitious scenario. Now, you'll notice that there's no recommended reading for this, because to give you a bit of a fictitious scenario, I'm going to give you 2 theories in the context of building a house. So if we look at Charles Handy's model of organizational culture, we look at it as a house structure. You've got the power culture, which is the house is built around a strong central figure, a patriarch or a matriarch. Decisions are made from the top down and the house structure is rigid. You've got a role culture, which is how a house has a clearly defined rooms, departments, roles for each family member to communicate in a formal and hierarchical structure. You've got a task culture, which is a house built around specific projects, garden, renovating a room, teams, dissolving needs for focusing, achieving specific culture. You've got a person culture, a house where individuals, family members are the most important. And the house's structure is designed to fit around the need of its inhabitants. Think about that culture in terms of what's going on with Carlmere House and what's going on with Chaffinch Group. Think about the structures. Think about how that's potentially changed in their vision. Maybe Charles Handy's model would be suitable. Then you've got something like David Rock's scarf theory, which is just focuses on like the house's atmosphere, the status, the perceived important rank of each team member in the house. Is someone the head of the household? You've got certainty, which is predictability of daily life. Are routines established? That people know, especially in things like care homes and residential care. Got autonomy, the freedom. How much freedom do people have? Has it changed? Are they being put under more pressure because they're having to work a lot more overtime? You've got relatedness, you've got autonomy, you've got fairness. And the reason I'm giving you these examples, like if we think about it from an atmosphere perspective or we think about it from a structural perspective, these are organizational theories and models that people use. Remember, they've gone from a flat organization to a hierarchical organizational structure. How does that fundamentally change the perceived chain of command? How important do you feel when you're a number in a big chain of organizations? How can we use things like Charles Handy's model of organizational culture to help understand the change people are going through? How do we use David Ross' scarf theory to understand how people feel about their status? Handy's model, for example, describes the overall shape and organizational culture. Scarf theory focuses on the psychological factors influencing behaviors and cultures. By understanding different models, you can identify different problems that may have occurred during this transition. But you have to have in your mind really clearly, this is from someone who's got a small building company where it's all his friends building a house together to big company going, we're doing this, here's the model, this is what you're going to do, and this is what I'm moving forward. Best of luck with this particular one. It's an interesting one for me because when we get to marking this is about theories and models that connect to you. But remember, using theories, plural, more than one, models, plural, more than. So using two theories and models, which two resonate with you with regards to Chaffinch Group and what's gone on with Carlmere House. Best of luck. This one, I'm sure you'll do great. And we'll catch